This is the Elite Vendors Network. This all started from a WhatsApp group, basically. But you know, in the room, we've got DJs, we've got wedding planners, we've got photographers, we've got videographers, etc. But there's no one kind of hub for everyone to communicate with each other. So I thought, let's just create a little group that we can just keep each other in the loop, you know. Oh, I'm going to be here today, or, you know, does anyone know someone that does this or that? And in the end, it's grown to a group of over 200 suppliers.
So again, yeah, my name's Senna. I'm one of the co-founders of a company called Malts & More. We've been in the industry for 8.5 years now. And while we technically sell suits, we do more than that. For us, it's more than just a suit. We sell confidence.
I'm DJ Neptizzle, playing largely in the African community, playing a lot of Afro beats. Probably been doing it for about 10 years, started off more as a club DJ, and eventually found my way to the wedding industry because a lot of the young people that I was playing for at the time grew old, got married, needed a DJ, and I was that guy because I was doing it for them when they were younger. So later on in life, I was that guy they turned to.
My company is La Jet Fit. We specialize in destination weddings. All around the world. We've got offices and a team all around the world as well, mainly in France, Moscow and Morocco.
Mr. Tando, Gerald Tando, so it's not like a fake name, it's my name. I've been in the wedding industry for about, I think my first wedding was probably about 4 years ago. I've been doing a lot of hosting in sort of church and youth events and that sort of stuff. And then one day I woke up and I called, he was young at the time, he's not so young now, Simply Andy, he's in the room. Andy, wherever you are. I called him, I said, Andy, I want to take some of your money. And he got me my first gig in 2014. I think the client paid about £500, he took £450. And I took the rest. Thanks, Andy, bruv, I love you for it. But literally ever since then, it's just been weddings upon weddings.
My name is Mary Bernadette, and I run Designer Chair Covers to Go and Event Decor Hire. We do a variety of weddings, birthdays, parties, and any time there's a celebration, I get called in to decorate the room. We stock a variety of products from furniture, centerpieces, flowers, backdrops, drapery, anything to really transform the room and make it look stunning.
My name is Twain. I own Tees Bakery. I made my very first cake on the 6th of February 2015, so less than 3 years ago. I had no intention, I had no plans, no desire to join the wedding industry or to even make cakes. But I couldn't find anyone to make my son's 3rd birthday cake, and I'm someone who just feels like I just go out there and do it. And so I made his cake for him, and that unlocked a talent. I never knew I was talented. I never knew I was creative. I do have quite a lot of artists in my family, but I just never thought it came to me. And but yeah, here I am today. I make cakes, and I like making extravagant and luxury big cakes.
Michael, Special Functions. I'm a cinematographer. But I believe most importantly, my platform has been able to enable young men create businesses. So that's what I'm proud of. Just being able to allow young men know that they can make money and not work for people.
I'm Barbara, and unlike Mr. Tando, Afamina is a fake name. It started off with myself and 2 of my friends. My Ghani name is Efia. So Efia, Melissa, Natasha. The 3 of us, we basically decorated my wedding because I got married very young. We didn't have any money, so we had to do everything DIY. And we just kind of made it happen with decor. And so we were doing it for friends and family over the years. And then when I had my first son 4 years ago, I decided I wanted to actually do it as a business. And so we do decor and flowers. I love flowers, fresh flowers, silk flowers, you have it. So I think that's very much our signature. And I love people, and I think that comes through in what we do.
My first question to you guys is, in a short amount of time, you guys have managed to make a name for yourself in the industry where I guess a lot of people in the room know who you are. And, you know, you guys haven't been doing this for 10, 20 years. You've only been going, a lot of you, for, say, between 5 to 10 years. It hasn't been a long, long time like Uncle Charles here. So how would you say that there's a strategy to making a name for yourself and standing out and excelling in the industry? Or would you say that it's just been a really, like a bit of luck?
Being consistent.
Find someone that's doing the job that you want to do and train with them, learn with them.
I sort of looked around the industry all around the world, and I sort of I identified someone that I really, really liked their work.
Because everything reflects your brand. And so being consistent, so the website has to be on point, but so does your social media. And if the social media is on point in terms of the quality of the images as well, that all speaks of your brand.
What does it take to be the DJ, one of the go-to men?
I think it's experience is the key thing. Being able to play to different kind of crowds, doing your research, watching DJs who are older than you. That's all I've done when I was literally just standing over DJs' shoulders, watching what they were doing, what they were playing, and looking at the crowd, see what kind of crowd they had as well.
I just wanted to know if any of you had doubts about what you're doing and how you tackled them. If people told you, like, what you're doing is wrong, it's risky, like, how did you retaliate?
When people put you down, those are distractions. I don't let distractions get into my way. I know where I want to go, I know what my goal is, and I'm focused on my goals. I'm not looking left and right. I don't care what other people are doing or what they're saying. I know where I want to get to, and I would get there.
My name's Dimeji from LED Creations, so design wedding stationaries. In terms of actually trying to sort of move your business further, most of my bookings have been coming from social media, which I think is quite good in terms of obviously low spend, etc. You guys out there, what other platforms as most of your sort of bookings, recommendations come from?
What's worked for us in the last 3 years is word of mouth. You need to have really strong relationships, and I believe this is where EVN is coming into play. They need to know who you are, they need to know that you're credible, and once they know this, you get recommendations. And that's the strongest recommendations, because once that goes, it's closed, you get the deal.
And it's just sort of on the back of what Michael was saying about just building your network. It just pays to be nice to people and to build relationships and friendships in the industry, because there will be times when you will feel like, I'm going to throw this in. All of us have been there. We still are. None of us have arrived. But when you speak to somebody who is, you just kind of bounce off each other, and it just gives you that, thing to, okay, we can do this, let's do this. And, Dean and I have those conversations. We'll be like, okay, 5-minute conversation, ends up in an hour. I'll be like, okay, yeah. And then you just, it just propels you. So relationships are so crucial.
I think the struggles that I have is particularly in the industry, events industry, wedding industry, people look as females, being a female MC, the first question is, are you a caterer? Are you the planner? Are you the coordinator? And you're like, no, I'm the MC. So there's a particular stigma for females, but I'm fortunate enough to know that, that we're empowered to be able to break that mold, to be able to move forward. And even though that people say that you're a female MC, I say, no, I'm an MC who is female.
Our first job ever was £40. No, £35 exactly. I was like, and we're so happy, £35. And they were like, oh, very nice cocktails. And we thought the following week, phone calls, nobody called us after that. I was like, oh my God, but we're not discouraged. We kept on like, it's good, and today, we thank God, it's a household name.
Where are you from to start with?
Where am I from? I am Vietnamese, for those that think I'm Chinese. Just to clear the elephant in the room, right? Persistence is so key. Even though people don't want you, it was still a passion thing for me, something that I did in my bedroom and something that I enjoyed doing. I just done it. And then a lot similar to Dean, and a lot through like the uni scene, going through the uni scene and just being able to go up and down the UK, and kind of blew up for me.
It doesn't make sense. One person charging 4,000, 3,000, next person is charging 500, 600. You're spoiling the market. So I'm speaking, if that's okay.
It's okay.
So, no. These are real subjects. We're not here to mess around. Let's be real.
You're smiling, we speak for you, so I say, mommy, blah, blah, blah. Let's go to my gaga. I'll take you where you wanna go. You can trust me, girl, I'm in control. You say the things I like, be together until we die. Tomorrow belongs to you and I. If you promise, that's so will I, yo. Say the things I like, be together until we die. Tomorrow belongs to you and I. If you promise, that's so will I, yo. Your love makes me go up, make we see tomorrow. Make we dance, make we dance. Your touch makes me musu, for wuti betu me musu mami. Make we jade, make we jade.
What's the right way? Because there's also people assassinating other people in the industry. What's the moral way? What's best practice? Michael?
I believe many of us are coming into the industry, and I've been hearing Instagram. We put the best pictures on Instagram, but if you actually do weddings, you know, you've got to do the job, you've got to deliver.
When you look at other communities, Greeks, Turkish, Asian, they support their own. They will use their own people.
Yeah.
Stick with the community. So far they're credible and they're good at what they do, we will deliver.
I think when you know your worth, when you know what you do is good, when you know how you do it is good, you will not need to struggle to find work.
Sitting here now and seeing all of your faces on the panel has made me feel so proud, because when I first came here I was thinking that I was going to be sold something, or it wasn't going to be to the standard that I want, and that's because of the experiences that I've already had with trying to use my community and my people thus far. So you've restored my faith that there are vendors out there that I can use who are from the same place that I'm from.
Is there a way that they could be rated? So you have ratings for the top, the medium, and those newcomers coming in?
In the wedding industry, regardless of if you like it or not, we've got calibers. You've got an A-list, you've got a B-list, and you've got a C-list. The C-list, no disrespect, we're all climbing ladders. We're on a way to get somewhere. So those are the people that are rehearsing. But we still got the A-list. So why are we not getting the jobs? We need to talk a bit more. We need to share what we've done. Okay, inquiry comes in. We need a suit maker. You know a good A-list suit maker in the community, but you know, people you hold back, not believing in the community. You need to believe in us a bit more. Now that brings us back to the EVN. I believe in each industry, so each vendor, be it the caterer, be it the suit maker, be it the photographer, there should be someone at the top who everyone is accountable to. Not a specific person, but there should be a brand.
You need to look the part, you need to comply, there have to be standards, and lastly but not the least, you have to know your trade.
A client who's happy will tell 5 people. A client who's not happy will tell 25 people. And then those 25 people will go on and tell somebody else. So you've got to value your reputation above profits, as far as I'm concerned. So I will lose money to have a happy client rather than say, you know, I'm going to keep this change in my pocket. So with that type of mentality, you can never lose out, because you'll always get someone, even if they know that it wasn't quite what they wanted, if they know that you went your full in on it, they're never going to talk bad about you, because they know that you did well. Because no business is perfect.
With regards to standards, I would definitely like to set up some kind of review system, some kind of like a form of TripAdvisor.
Where do we see the strategic vision for the EVN group, be it individually or collectively? And that's, when I say strategic vision, I'm talking about not just upholding integrity as an individual business, but as a collective, but also supporting each other, but then also the long-term strategy. I mean, we spoke about the Asians and, you know, them acquiring a lot of business. what is our long-term strategy? Are we thinking, okay, we're purchasing land? Are we thinking purchasing venue? Because I know some people in this group have actually started setting out to kind of say, okay, look, we need to put our mark on the industry with a venue or with a particular service, etc., etc.
Now, I believe if we were accredited, it's a start to also put structure in place. That way, when you pay money to a vendor, you know you're paying money to a credible source, and that person would deliver.
If you can get a mentor, of course, that's going to cut down a lot of time, which I touched on before, and I would highly recommend it. I'm willing to teach people. If you want to learn how to decorate, do flowers, do drapery, come to me. I will be happy to teach you. I need extra hands as well. So if you want to come on a wedding with me. I will show you how it's done.
If you forget where you started, the industry will pass you by. For me, I will always remember where I started, my first wedding, what I did, who I spoke to get to where I am now. And the minute you forget track of that, you lose the vision.
I would only advise clients to spend the money that they can afford to spend. So this is what I'm saying, is that I'm not asking them to go and take a loan so I can use them. I've spoken to a few people that's asking for work experience, and I even advise them to go and advertise. Even if you're a wedding planner, you want to get in, you've been working, you've been shadowing someone and you feel like you're ready, go and put on Gumtree to say a free wedding planner available, and then that's how you get in, and you can help people with the 15K and so forth. I'm sure there's different ways, there's different things that you can do.
It's the value you place on what you do, and that's what's going to determine the price you charge.
We have got some of the most influential, powerful and successful people in this industry in one group. There's no way that we can't go places. There's no way that this can really fail.
Branding is so important, and I'm not just talking about the brand name of your business, but the brand identity of who we are as a people. As a people, our brand is not that strong, but it's something that we can change. And a lot of people have talked about how we can change it, doing excellent work. But it doesn't only stop at just doing excellent work. The next thing that we need to start to do is to build a system. Some of you have built very good businesses, excellent businesses that are of note, but a business standing by itself is not going to achieve much. It needs to be within a system, and it's that system that gives it a strength. Somebody here talked about the construction industry and how you have accreditation. How does that accreditation happen? A group of people come together and say, we're going to set the standard in this industry, and then they get other people to accredit with them. And that is something that you have started. I see that going far from here. That's something that the Elite Vendors Network can do. So if all of you put your hands together and say, we're going to be part of this, we're going to build this system, we're going to be part of this system. So it's not just Dean's thing, but it's our thing to build this system, then we will be known, we will be strong.
No more, because the pastor has brought it to a close.
We should definitely do it again. I love the standards idea, because a lot of couples will probably, if they can't get their first choice person, what do they do next?
Customer service is everything. So in responding to emails, to treating your clients, I think that's the number one thing, and that's what will grow the industry. Number two is not everything is luxury. I think the word luxury is branding a lot, especially in our community, because everyone aspires to that. But I don't think it's for everyone, and I think if we use the words correctly, then it will educate the brides as well.
From when I begun and started 7 years ago to now, it's grown. And people are spending more, people are doing more, and I would say we are really competing now with the Asians, with the English, with the Greeks, and yeah, I think the only way is up.
One of the things I don't think we necessarily touched on is that some of us, this is our bread and butter, and I think some of us, it's pocket money on the side, and that can also affect pricing as well, and it can affect, some people undercutting and that sort of thing.
Sometimes it's so tempting as vendors to undercharge because we want that client, but if you're undercharging, because you know that you are undercharging, and if you're doing that, it's not just an insult to you, but it's an insult to the industry as well, because what you're doing is you're raising false expectation.
My advice is to those starting out, I remember when I started, the best advice I can give you is not to be scared. Just go out, do what you can do. If you have a passion for it, if you're good at it, doors will open for you. So just don't be afraid to go out, promote your business, be proud of what you do, and I promise you, doors will open. Don't look at someone else's story and say this person grew in 2 weeks, or why is it taking me 4 years? You can take 5 years but be bigger than the person that grew in 2 weeks. So that's my advice.
Just make sure that your clients understand your clients, and your clients understand that you know your business. You have to make sure that when someone's coming to you, they can respect what you're doing, and that way they can't really try and underprice you. If you tell them and you advise them in the right way, even though they think they know what they're after, if you give them enough reason to make them understand that you know better because you've been doing this for years, they'll value your business over somebody who's just going to sell them whatever products that you're selling. And I think that will help yourself, the industry, and people to respect what you're doing even more.
There's never going to be a free EVN event because things need to be paid for. Understand? We need to get to memberships. People paying membership fees, not well, once it goes online to the website, then there's going to be a membership fee that is going to be coming. You understand? And that's not because I want to line up my pockets. That's what people keep thinking. That's because if you want good people to work for you, and you want a good team, you want good staff, you want to invest in things, you want nice venues, they need to be paid for. You can't get it for free. That is the next step. That is the next step that's the next step for EVN. And we're going to make it more than a WhatsApp group for real. We're going to make it more efficient. It's going to become a recognized industry name. And we'll see what happens from there.